The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a wonderful guest for you today, Isabelle Guarino-Smith. She is with the RALAcademy, which is an assisted living academy, which teaches you about how to start a residential assisted living program, which is fascinating to me. Welcome to the show, Isabelle. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here.
Yeah, exciting stuff, and I know we talked a little bit beforehand, and I know enough about assisted living in general to get me in trouble. So I'm excited to hear what you had to say today. So tell me, I guess first, go ahead and tell me about the company, and then tell me about yourself, how you kind of got started in it and how all that works.
You got it. So Residential Assisted Living Academy is basically the #1 training company for people who are in real estate, or they're investors, they're entrepreneurs, and they want to get into this niche of investing, but there's really nobody showing people how to do this. So we started doing that really after we got into this industry ourselves. My grandmother fell and broke her hip, and it became a personal need for my family to find a suitable situation for her. And she was living in upstate New York at the time. And unfortunately, everywhere we visited smelled bad, felt bad. It was, poor care and expensive and waiting lists. And it was just like, this can't be all there is. You just start questioning this whole system of senior housing and senior care and just saying, there has to be something more. So we were living in Arizona at the time. We went back to Arizona and stumbled into residential assisted living. It's significantly more popular here and, in Florida, where you are right now, than in some other parts of the country. And my dad had been a real estate investor for 40 years. So when he did the quick math and realized, okay, I'm going to be paying $5,000 a month for her to live here, or I could own the real estate, own the business, and I could be cash flowing $10,000 a month, and she could be living for free. He was like, we got to figure out how to get into this business. So with zero knowledge, he purchased the real estate, purchased the business. And so began our journey of, heading down this path of creating better senior housing and trying to teach and train thousands of others how to do this all across the country.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big dream. I mean, that's a big endeavor, but it sounds like it's really working out. So what I got to know before we talk about you a little bit more, what's it like working with family?
Oh, I love working with family personally.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, I have good experiences with it, because if you don't work with friends and family, who does that leave? Enemies and strangers?
Right. Wow. Okay.
I like to work with
Good
people
to know.
that I know and that I love, and it makes me feel like every day's not work. Like I feel like I enjoy my time at work. I enjoy my conversations. And we have almost all friends and or family who work for us. Barely any strangers and no enemies.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
None of that.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. So you yourself, you're a speaker for the company. I mean, obviously now it seems you are the face of the company. And what's it like being, doing all these engagements and get in front of all these people? And who do you look for to, who's the best candidate for you guys?
Great question. I only really started speaking on this just about almost a year ago. My dad passed a year ago, and prior to that, thank you. Prior to that, he was our main stage presenter and speaker, and he was excellent at that. One of the best educators I've ever seen. And when he passed, we kind of hit that, situation where it's like, what do you do? Like, do we just shut down the doors, or does someone step up? And I had not been training for that or, practicing for that. And I just kind of got thrown off a cliff, and it was like, it's your time to fly. So I am very, very lucky and blessed that I grew up with a father who made us unafraid of public speaking, made us unafraid of putting ourselves in situations that many people feel uncomfortable with.
Right.
He didn't force us into anything, but he definitely made it like, no, you need to be comfortable in your own shoes in any room you walk into. And those skills, that he taught us subconsciously really have helped aid me, in this new role for me. So I'm blessed for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You get large groups. So I guess
Yeah.
there was a second part to my question that you're going to answer, but I can't help but look at some of your videos and things like that and go, wow, there are a lot of folks here. There's a lot of folks really
Yeah.
getting involved.
Yes. So we do trainings every 6 to 8 weeks, and they have about 150 people in each of those rooms. We also have an annual convention that we do every year that has like 700 to 800 people. And then I speak and train on stages almost every single week. I'm on a 12-week span right now. I've got 6 more weeks to go, that I've just been going straight from stage to stage and just sharing this message all across the country. So I really love teaching. Our prime audience would be real estate investors, medical professionals, or really anybody who has a loved one who wants to do better.
Wow.
It's important, and it affects all of us, because raise your hand
Sure.
if you're getting older and know someone who is. I mean,
Getting old. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's fantastic. So so let's kind of come to the future, not the future, but you kind of told me how you got started and the company itself, the bio of the company itself. If there was any one thing, and I think I know what it is because I heard you talk about it a couple of times already, but I may be wrong. If I could solve any problem for you, and I had that magic wand, that Harry Potter wand, and I could solve any issue for you, what would that be? I mean, anything going on in the company that you're like, man, we really need a solution to this problem?
I don't know if within the company I have something, but within the industry I have something.
Okay.
Okay, the way we educate people and train people currently, we talked about your son and I both went to school in Arizona, and
Right.
the different college programs and things we have, we're training people up for jobs that no longer exist, right? There's a different need in the job market than what we're currently still training people to do. Now we're finding a lot of jobs in tech and a lot of jobs in nursing and things like that. We need more caregivers. If you had a magic wand, I would ask you for more caregivers who had big hearts and were hard workers, because there is a shortage of people who are willing to do this hard work and labor. And with the silver tsunami coming, there's more of a need than ever for these people who are willing to do this work. And so caregivers, that's what I would wish for.
Wow, fascinating. That's crazy. But yeah, you're right. There is this a silver-haired tsunami coming. I've never heard that, but I love it.
Yeah.
So I had another question on the tip of my tongue. I love asking questions. I love learning as much as I can. So bear with me. I had asked before, is there a particular mold, or how are you finding your students? I guess that's the easier question. How are you finding your students now? Are they just
Yeah.
falling in your lap, or is it podcast, or?
I do a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of speaking engagements, but we also have really great marketing. And,
Okay.
I'm on TikTok and Instagram and all the different fun things. And so
Yeah.
we have a whole team that takes phone calls and chats with anyone who wants, more information one-on-one, so they can just see if it is a good fit for them and, what they're looking to do, because real estate's exciting for people who aren't in it yet. And especially when you see the numbers to be made in residential assisted living, a lot of people get really excited about that, but it's important for us to have those chats with them to see if their heart's in the right place, because this is not just a real estate play. It's also a business.
It's a business.
It's a business. Yeah. And we're caring for people's lives, and that matters. And I don't want to teach anyone who's just in it for the money, so we're really cautious about that. And we like to kind of chat with everybody before they even come to class to make sure that they are the right fit for us to be working with.
Man, that's fantastic. So let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's put on our prognostication hats real quick. Where are you in the company in the next 1, 3, and 5 years? Where do you see that? Is there a blueprint built out for that right now, or what's the thought process there?
Yeah, I think in 1 year, just because I just started in this new role for myself of, now being out on the road and building this brand, I really see that continuing definitely for the next year, probably up to 3 years, just getting that message out there. And then I would say in 5 years, honestly, I see our company right now, we have classes of 150. We sell out every time. So I see those classes going upwards of 300, especially like I said, with the silver tsunami coming and people increasingly having these issues with their own loved ones. Now it becomes forefront and they say, I have to do something now, so they want solutions. So I see our classes becoming a lot bigger. And in 10 years, I really see our company just dominating the education market for this. All of the companies that I built over the last 7-8 years, they supplement the one company, which is training people how to do this. And then every other company is built to support those people in whatever way possible. So I see us growing, techifying, and creating more businesses and helpful arms and branches for those people in this industry, whatever that looks like.
Oh, fantastic. Now, is that part of you, part of what you want to see as the company or even your father's or your own legacy?
Yes.
Kind of what you leave behind? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. 100%. I am, in the beginning, this started with being for my grandmother, and it really
Right.
took a shift and took a turn when my dad passed. And now it's about carrying that message forward. Our mission is to positively impact 10 million people through senior housing. So we can do that by not just impacting the one senior in the home, but the family that comes with them, the caregivers, that have a better opportunity to actually give quality care to those seniors instead of in a big box facility where the odds are against them taking care
Right.
of 20 to one person. That's really tough on them. So there's a lot of people that can be affected by opening just one home, and that's my goal, to carry this forward, continue that, and just to continue positively impacting people through this.
I love it. That's sage advice. I love it. So for my own personal use, possibly, how does someone get in touch with you?
Yes, if you want to get in touch with us, the best website to go to would be RALAcademy. There are all sorts of free stuff there. You can schedule a call with me, but you can also check out a free webinar, grab a free book. There's a bunch of different little downloads there. So RAL101.com.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So we're kind of at that point in the show, we're kind of winding down a little bit. And I always like to give people the opportunity to kind of say, maybe talk about something that we didn't cover, or maybe something that's near and dear on your mind, heart, or soul. And, I'm merely the DJ on this gig, and you're the guest, it's your show. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think my biggest just message going forward is that there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of opportunity in this industry, and it's really important. So if it's calling to any of your listeners thinking, hey, the cash flow sounds good, but more importantly, the impact, leaving your kids, leaving a legacy that's a lot of money in a trust fund or, just a lump sum of money, it only goes so far. It only means so much. Leaving cash flowing businesses that change people's lives, that change a community, that means everything. So to me, I want to teach as many investors and entrepreneurs as I can to leave that type of legacy to their children, that they can carry that forward as a passive investment, but something that they know matters, something that they know means something. Our company motto is to do good and do well. So that's always my last words.
That is awesome. I love it. Isabelle, thank you so much for being on the show. I actually really look forward to talking to you again. I definitely like to maybe do this again in 3, 6, 9 months and kind of see where you guys are at. Stay on though, because I do have a couple of other questions for you off the recording. Have a wonderful week. And once again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.